பின்னாடி ஊந்து வந்துட்டு நான் தானே தூக்கி
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. Let us start. Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today we are going to see about the next skill of communication, right? In the earlier classes, we have seen which skill we have discussed about. Which skill we discussed, ma? Yesterday?
Arts of reading.
Yes, reading. So, likewise, art of writing. It is also equally important. It is also a skill. Okay, it is also an important skill in language. Okay, actually there are four main skills for any language learning. We need to be proficient in four main skills. One is writing, reading, speaking, and listening. Okay, so all these four together, if it goes well, okay, definitely there will be some development in our development as well as fluency will be there in the language. Okay, in the language that we try to learn, the target language, right? Is it clear? So the main idea behind this is that whether it is a reading skill or writing skill, whatever it is, the message that we try to express to others, okay, should reach the person as we really feel about it. What is there in our mind, you're trying to express. Okay, I already told you in the case of reading skill, there is what is there in our mind should be there. If we write a letter, it should be there. Likewise, the writing skill also, okay, we must have that ability, good command over the language to express what is there in our mind. Okay, the person who is going to read, if you are a writer, if you are writing a letter, if you are writing some report, okay, the person who is there to interpret your message must be able to understand exactly what you felt while writing the thing. So, is writing putting pen to paper or typing ideas into a computer? So, it is not, writing is not such a simple thing. Okay, just to write something, what is that comes to our mind? Putting some words, filling the paper with words won't fulfill the function. So it is something beyond that. Okay, writing is not just putting pen or typing something on the paper. Writing is an art of expressing our thought and views. Okay, so what we really feel, these are all, that's why these things we call as art. Okay, these skills is which we need practice. Okay, skill. As if dancing is a skill, singing is a skill. Okay, these things we could gain proficiency in these skills. That is in the case of dancing or singing, swimming. Okay, these are all things that we call as skills. These things, okay, that is, we could become a good singer or a dancer only if we practice those things. Likewise, language proficiency we could gain only if we practice things. Just hearing or learning won't help us. We have to practice. Okay. So, writing is an art. Can you see the PPT, ma? Is it visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Writing is an art of expressing our thought and views. What is there in our mind? Okay, whatever form of writing you are trying to put there, whether you are writing patient's report or whether you're trying to write some short story, whether you're trying to write a letter to your brother. Okay, what is there in your mind? You must have a good command over the language to express what is there in your mind. Okay, you have to express your ideas and thoughts. So write with passion. Fill your paper with the breathings of your heart. It is not enough to satisfy your, if you satisfy your mind. Okay, so this intellectual knowledge, that is what you might know lot of vocabularies and you might know sentence construction, but the way that you are presenting, the usage of various vocabularies, okay, should reveal, should make you feel a breath of that is a satisfaction should be there. Yes, if you again go through the things which you have written, you must feel, yes, what I really feel is there on the paper. Okay, if you have if you happen to read some short stories or novels of great writers, either in the target language or in your mother tongue, you could understand the power of words. Okay, just go through such things. Then only we could understand the miracle behind the art of writing. So writing should create a powerful emotional response. As if we saw in the case of reading things, you must be able to feel. How could we feel? Only if something is there in the form of words, we could feel. So we must make the readers to feel. Our writing should be in such a way that it has to bring out the emotional state of people. What we really feel about the thing. Are we really interested in it? Or we really pity someone? Or we really willing to do some good for someone? So everything needs to be expressed in the form of words. Only then it could be called as a good writing. Writing should create a powerful emotional response. Okay, it should not stop with just conveying something. Okay, even in our absence, it must reveal. It must bring the picture of our mind in front of the readers. Don't tell me the moon is shining. Show me the glint of light on broken glass. So, simply saying that moon is shining, if you say, don't be of that much effect. We have to go with wonderful vocabularies, which helps to visualize things. You must give an opportunity to the reader to visualize things. For the reader to visualize things, our presentation should be so. Our written language should be like that. Writing skills include all the knowledge and abilities related to expressing ideas through the written word. Writing skills include all the knowledge and abilities related to expressing ideas through the written word. So this is what we call as writing skill. What is there in our mind? What we really feel. You're writing a letter to your mom and she is not feeling well. On reading your letter, she must feel confident that my daughter's there, my son is there, and he'll look after this. Okay, that feel we have to create through words. Writing skills help to communicate clearly with others even in your absence. This is what I do. Even if you are not there, okay, while conveying a message, it has to, the words, we have to play with words. The words should reflect our mind, our heart, our feelings towards the person to whom we are writing. So it makes them feel. The picture of your mind should come in front of them while reading the letter that you write. Even professions that don't focus on writing require written communication skills. So writing is can't be confined to poets or writers alone. Anyone who belongs to the language profession. Can we say it like that? It is, writing is not essential for health professionals. Only knowing the medicine is enough, and if they are good in treatment, that much is enough. Can we say so? No. It is essential for everyone. These are all some basic things which everyone needs to be proficient enough with this. So even professions that don't focus on writing require written communication skills from the initial exhibition. What is this initial exhibition? From the very beginning of their profession. Okay. From the initial exhibition to daily tasks and record keeping. So let us see the importance of writing skills. Good writing is clear thinking made visible. So what is good writing? A clear thinking made visible. What is there in our mind? Okay. We have to picturize what is there in our mind. Only then the writing could be called as a good one. Okay, the complete picture of what is there in our mind should be felt by the writer himself while he proofread the thing. Only then the reader who is going to read or interpret the message sent by us could be interpreted in the same way. So we already know about the idea that we are presenting there in the letter or somewhere else. We are going to write what is there in our mind. The person who is going to read might not have any idea about what is there in the letter that we have written. So we must make them, a good writer must be able to make his readers get the exact picture of what is there in the mind, in their own mind. Only then such a writing will be called as a good writing. So most of the employers get their first impression of future employees through the writing skills displayed in the form of resume, cover letter, and email communications. So that is very first attempt of ours. That is, we might have studied during our school days, we might have written letter to our principal, HM, etc. But the vitality of writing skill we could realize while we step into the while we step first in search of job. Most of the employers get the first impression of future employees through the writing skills. At first, after completing our profession, okay, now we have to find job. So while seeking job, we need to be cautious with various communication skills. As we already discussed, we need to be very much cautious with non-verbal skills. Okay. And then writing skill. So the first step towards our job seek is that we have to produce our resume. Simply following some format. If the company that you have, the hospital or company or any organization that you where you are applying for job might have some formats, but in certain companies you might not have any formats. Wherever it is, whether the format they frame or we are using on our own, the presentation of things, how we present our skills, how we are trying to express our abilities matters a lot. So it is here that we start realizing the importance of writing skills. Most of the employers get their first impression, yes, on looking at the resume that you're writing. If it is more attractive, okay, if the resume is in such a way that makes the reader to feel what you really mean with the job, definitely the person will get the opportunity to move on to the next step. So such a valuable thing is the writing skill. So next to resume, that is along with resume, we used to give cover letters. We used to produce cover letter. Cover letter is you can't express things just like you write to your class teacher. There is a leave letter that you write to your class teacher. Cover letter should express everything about your skill towards the profession that you're trying. So to express your affinity towards the profession, interest towards the profession, how far you succeeded, okay, in convincing the patients, everything you can reveal through cover letter. What are all the there is extra credits you gained. Okay, everything we have to reveal through the cover letter. So it is highly impossible if you are not proficient, if you are not good in writing, So we need to practice writing. We need to enjoy while writing. It is not just conveying matters. We have to make the person feel what is really there in your mind. So, apart from this resume and cover letter, sometimes we used to go with email. It is also a kind of letter. It is an electronic communication. Whatever it is, everywhere we need to express, we must have that ability to express our feelings, what we really feel about a thing. Okay, we need to attract the person who is going to select you. So we must have that good command over the vocabulary and pattern of sentences and proper grammar usage. Everything you need to be cautious about. A strong writing process helps to maintain a clear communication and accurate documentation in any work. A strong writing process helps to maintain a clear communication. If there is any misinterpretation happens in the process of communication, you're writing something, we can just leave things if it happens in a personal life. We can try to reveal to those people. But in the case of it is official people, while we deal with official people, and if we went wrong, and if we are not good in expressing our thoughts, we have to face the consequences. To maintain clear communication with the person who is working with us, okay, accurate documentation. We need to be cautious with words. And apart from that, accurate documentation is essential wherever we work. Okay, so being a nurse, you have to you need to be very much cautious while documenting the condition of patients. So you have the responsibility to fill so many things like nurses' notes, then health reports, and then some records which are essential for documentation. All these things plays a very important role in your profession. Let us see the importance of writing skill to health professionals. Okay. Healthcare professionals need to be more cautious from picking the right term to the extent of explaining the condition of the patient. They need to be meticulous, very cautious. That is meticulous. You need to be with a keen eye, sharp eye, with each and every word that you're using. So, health professionals, regarding particularly about nurses, writing notes between departments is essential. So, we have to deal with different specialties. Nurses, there is so many departments are there, and you have to, if you are referring the patient to the next department, you have to enter clearly the exact thing, what the patient really felt, how the patient was while entering into your department? What are all the problems they had? What medications were prescribed? Was there any improvement in after those medications? Even the slight changes you have to produce it. The pains and feelings that the patient underwent while taking particular medications, everything we need to reveal while we submit something to the people at different departments. So, hope you could understand the importance of writing skill here. How much efficient you should be to put in words the feelings of the patients. If you go wrong, the complete procedure will get collapsed. Giving patient discharge instructions. It is also a very important thing, discharge sheet. So a patient is undergoing treatment and towards the end of the treatment, we have to produce discharge sheet. So it has to confine with everything from the date she approached the doctor, with what ailments he approached the doctor, how was the pain, how the patient felt by the time of at the time of entry, at his or her first entry, what were all the medications that were prescribed, what were all the tests, why those tests were recommended, what made the doctor to admit her, what was the operation procedure followed, the various emotions, the various feelings that were underwent by the patient by this period, before operation, after operation, everything we need to express. So it is of course a legal document. If you slightly went wrong, if you miss something to produce in the discharge sheet, chances are there or things to go wrong, or sometimes if it happens that if they file a case, it might be because of some problem, some misunderstanding. If they file a case, if it happens, we have to face the consequence. So the nurses need to be very cautious while producing the discharge sheets. Sharing information between doctors and other health professionals. So besides dealing with the patients, the nurse has to share information between doctors. It is the nurse who stays with the patient all the day. So she has to share everything about the patient to the doctor. And if essential, she has to share with the other health professionals. Might be a physiotherapist or to some technician, whoever related to that ailment. That is, whoever treating that patient, you have to explain things. So it is the responsibility of a nurse to explain all those things. So it is possible. A nurse can't go and approach each and every one for every patient and explain things. She can simply put up in words. On looking at the report given by the nurse, they'll proceed with the thing. So for the treatment to go in the proper way, the reports produced by the nurses plays a very important role. The written reports of nurses. Then cataloging data for accreditation. There is approval. Nurses are supposed to have another important responsibility, that is, they have to maintain the data. The patient, that is, now we are dealing with corona patients. So, at what condition they came, what were all the symptoms, everything we need to include. Describing information to meet legal and regulatory standards, etc. So, legal issues. So, we need to be on the safer side. Though we are trying to bring the patients out of the ailments, sometimes we may fail in the attempt. So, at certain occasions, what made so? Why the patient dwindled? Okay, we need to rationalize our every step that we tried with the patient. So, to explain all these things, a nurse should be good in writing skills. Then, electronic communication. There is email, mainly email. Effective communication has a predominant role in determining the quality healthcare system. Misinterpretation may lead to dangerous consequences. So, effective communication was very much essential for a healthcare system to prevail in a quality way. For a healthcare system to be with quality, it is very much essential to have good communication skills, effective communication skills. If there is any slight misinterpretation, it may lead to dangerous problems. So we need to be very much cautious with the words that we speak, anything that we present in the form of writing. So writing, what we express in writing or documents. So while putting anything in the form of writing, whatever it is, whether it is health-related problems or whatever it is, if you are putting something in the form of writing, you need to be very much cautious. Otherwise, you'll be put down. General tips for writing emails in English. How to write email? What are all the things that we need to care about? Use your work email for work matters and personal mail for personal matters. We need to have two types of mails. One for our professional work and the other for personal work. Be clear, brief, and polite. for any official communication, we need to be clear. The person who reads or written thing should be able to understand. We need to use the letters clearly, and we have to use simple words. Simple words, simple vocabularies that should enable the reader to understand at his first glance. And you're not supposed to describe each and everything, to give a big description of something. We need to present, any writing should be short and sweet. It is clear, brief, and polite. These polite expressions are very much essential, whether we are there in person or whether we are going to convey something in the form of writing. So we need to be clear, brief, and polite. Keep the content of the message short. So that only the reader will try, amidst his busy schedule, he'll be urged to go through what you have written. So to make them brief, so while writing emails, we have to select the apt one. You must have a separate email for our professional work and for personal work. While presenting things in the mail, we need to be clear. We must have a clear idea about something, and the words that we use to express ideas should also be clear. The person who reads the message should be able to understand the vocabulary. So we are supposed to use familiar vocabularies, and whatever we try to convey, we have to convey briefly. Repetitions, unnecessary vocabulary should not be there. And any form of communication should be polite. We have to express our humbleness through words. So keep the content of the message short, simple, and concise to understand the gist of the letter without much effort and time. So the higher officials have to read the letter amidst their busy schedule, and to make them feel free and to succeed in our communication, to make them there is our attempt to reveal something to them should succeed. So it should be attractive enough. We have to write things that should be attractive enough to the reader to understand things at their first glance. Be respectful and courteous while writing emails. So while writing letters or emails, be respectful. Show your respect to the person to So be respectful to the person to whom you're writing. Have concern for the person to whom you're writing. While writing something to someone, you must keep the person in mind while writing something. Keep the sentences simple and easy to read. There should not be any passive form or indirect form. Even at the first glance, they must be able to interpret rightly. The person who reads the thing, either it is your letter or mail, they have to interpret in the right sense. So we need to go for such a choice of words and pattern of sentences. Be careful with forward and reply to all. So while we forward a message to someone, we have to recheck things, whether we forwarded the message to the right person, to avoid any unwanted problems. Take time to proofread the mail to ensure correctness of grammar and the thoughts are coherent enough for your letter to be organized and understandable. Take time to proofread. See, always cultivate the habit of going through things at least twice. After completing a letter or mail, you just go through them and check whether everything what is there in your mind is clearly revealed in your mail or letter. Check out the grammar and the thoughts are coherent, whether it goes with the thoughts, the words that you have used in the letter or mail reveal the feelings and ideas which are there in your mind, and whether it is in the proper order, whether it has some you have followed the sequential order. We have to, while writing any form of composition, we need to be cautious about the thing that we need to be cautious with the arrangement of ideas. Just like that, we are not supposed to put things. We have to arrange in proper order. The starting should not be an abrupt one. The last thing should not come in the first, and the first thing should not go to the last. So we have to follow some logical order while writing letters. And see to that whether the ideas which were revealed by you could be interpreted in the same way by the reader. So these are all the things that we have to do while proofread, while we go for a proofread. That is, never send the letter as it is, as you tried for the first time. Always go for proofread. It is checking, rechecking. So you have to allot some time for that. Apart from that, before sitting, start to write, you must have a clear frame of what you are going to present there. The exact frame. What are all the things that you are going to discuss with the person? So while planning itself, you have to spare some 5 minutes to have a definite plan before sitting to write, so that it will go good. You have to select by the time which idea to go first and which to go last, and what are all the things that you have to fill in the middle. Everything we need to have some idea about those things. So, even after reading that, you have to recheck. It is otherwise known as proofread. Whether you have used proper grammar, whether you have given you succeeded in expressing your ideas, whether it is in an organized manner, whether it will be interpreted in the same way as you did. All these things you have to check out first. Make sure that the recipient's email address is correct. Another important thing while sending the mail, or if you're writing a letter, you need to check with the address of the recipient. So these are all the things that we need to be cautious about. Regarding writing email or letter. So another important composition part a nurse has to know is that recording the proceedings. Proceedings is that when we happen to attend a meeting, a conference or seminar, we have to record those things. After a meeting, it is essential to verify what decisions were made at the meeting and what actions are to be taken. So, you're planning for a meeting. There's a meeting will be there for you. So, after the meeting, we need to record what happened at the meeting. So, we need to make a note of decisions which were made at the meeting. What were all the decisions which were made at the meeting? So, after a meeting, we need to record some the happenings at the meeting. So, while this is what we call as minutes. So, it is essential to verify what decisions were made at the meeting. So, being a nurse, you will be allotted some work at the meeting. So, what were all the work that were allotted to various nursing professionals or any health professional? Okay, we have to make a note of. Then, what actions ought to be taken? What are all the things that need to be followed? Okay, so minutes is an official statement. So, minutes is an official statement on the motions and resolutions of a meeting. What is going on at a meeting? Okay, what were all the work allotted to particular people? Whether it was carried out. What were all the new resolutions taken at the meeting? What are all the steps that were taken to continue with that? So everything should be included in the form of minutes. Okay, recorded in the form of minutes. It should be approved by the participating members of the meeting. So, what is there in the meeting should be, that is in the what we are the record that we create regarding the meeting should be approved by the persons who are participating in it. So it is a complete record of decisions made. Minutes is, it is a complete record What is complete record? It includes everything. What are all the decisions made at the meeting? We're planning for a meeting and some decisions will be taken at the meeting. So what were all the decisions made at the meeting? How they are going to proceed with things? Then chasing of action items. There is chasing of action items is that in the earlier meeting, they might have allotted some job, some work, whether those things are going properly, whether it needs any change, any alterations it needed. Okay, all these things need to be included. This is in a meeting document. This is what we call as minutes. So the exact format of minutes is that meeting minutes is that we have to include the place, date, and time of the meeting, where the meeting took place, when and at what time the meeting took place. All details we have to include in minutes. The next thing is the name of the participants, who are all the people who participated in the meeting. Also the names of those who were unable to participate in the meeting. So detailed report we need to produce in the form of minutes. Corrections of previous meeting minutes. Then decisions made about each item. So already this is what action item. In the previous meeting, people might have might be instructed to do certain things, whether that work is going on, whether it got completed. All such details we need to deal with. Whether any alterations, any corrections made regarding that action items. Then decisions made about each item. So in a meeting, we are supposed to discuss on various things. So about each item, we have to write about in the minutes. What were all the decisions made? Who said? Who suggested the suggestion? What were all the recommendations made regarding that particular decision? Everything needs to be included in the minutes. A brief note of topics discussed in the last meeting, whether they were approved or rejected, everything we need to include. So regarding that particular subject, what were all the things we discussed about a particular topic? What were all, who suggested what? Whether the suggestion is right, whether it is flexible enough to move forward. Everything we need to deal with, deal and record in the meeting. There is minutes. Present meeting, new topics discussed. Is there anything new that was discussed in the present meeting? What is the need for that new item? Whether it was approved or rejected, who approved it and who rejected that, why it was approved or why it was rejected. All sorts of detail we are supposed to produce. Any additional items added to the agenda by the members. This agenda is just like an invitation. So agenda is what we already planned in a meeting. Who are all going to be the speakers? The timing, how long they are going to speak, at what time the meeting is going to end up. All these things, all these details will be there in the agenda. So, apart from that, anything new was introduced. If it is so, in the minutes, we have to make a note of that also. Then, the next step is adjournment. At what time and by whom the meeting was adjourned? At what time and by whom the meeting was adjourned? When and where the new meeting will be held? So, closing of the meeting, and then when the next meeting was planned, where it will be held and at what time it will be held. Okay, all these things we need to include in a meeting. There is a minutes. So the person who explains all these details has to sign. In the section there is minutes submitted by, minutes approved by. The person who approves this, someone who leads the meeting, has to sign in this part. So these things we need to know how to go with the, how to record the proceedings, whether it is a meeting or a seminar or conference, whatever it is, we are supposed to make a record of that. So this is the process to make record of those kind of proceedings. So if we go for a short recap. So the document that records the meeting we call as here minutes. In the first place, we have to write the place where the meeting took place, the date and time of the meeting, the participants who are going to take part in there, then the names of those who failed to take part in the meeting. Also, we are supposed to include matters that were discussed in the meeting. Then about the action items, there is a decisions which were made in the last meeting and how those things are going on, whether those actions need any corrections, any alterations. Is there anything new in the present meeting? Whether that newer item was approved or rejected, who approved it and who rejected it, what was the reason behind this approval and the rejection? Then whether anything new was included in the agenda, that is already planned timing and presenters. There is anything new item was added to the agenda, who adjourned the meeting, and when will be the next meeting, at what time, in which place we'll have the next meeting. All these details we are supposed to produce in the minutes. So at the end of all these details, it should be signed by the person submitted as well as the person approved. So it is also a kind of composition that we need to know about. Another important thing is letter writing. So many hesitate. They are free enough to express something verbally. They're ready to express. They have a lot to express. But if they're asked to put up in the form of letter, people hesitate. So two types of letters are there. One is formal letter and another is informal letter. Yes, are you all able to follow me? Is it clear? Are you clear with minutes? How to write minutes? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any doubt in writing, that is in sending mails?
No, ma'am.
So you're all clear with that? Nobody's having any doubt. You don't have any doubt, no, ma? Shall I proceed? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So another important composition form that we have, that we must know about is that letter writing. Two types of letters are there. What are those two types of letters? Do you have any idea? What are the two types of letters?
Formal letter, informal letter.
Formal letter and informal letter. Which is formal and which is informal letter? Which is called as formal letter and which is called as informal letter?
Formal letter we write to office, schools.
Yes, good.
Informal letter we write to our friends and families.
Yes, good. The letter that we write to our friends and family members, relatives, we call as informal letter. We need not stick on to formalities that much strictly. Formal letter, we need to be formal. Okay. So, these formal letters we used to write to the official people. Okay. Official people or to some academicians. Okay. If we have to present something formally, we have to use formal letters. Okay. So, today let us see the various things to be followed while writing an informal letter. The way we write to academicians and official people vary from how we write to our friends and relatives. Of course, you all feel the difference in the way of speaking or writing to the to our friends and to some people who are unknown to us and who belong to some higher rank officially. Okay, definitely there will be some difference. So this is what we call as formal and informal letter. The difference in the styles. What are all the things that differentiates the formal and informal letter? While we write a letter to someone formal or while writing letter to some informal persons. So the difference lies in the style. What are all the things that comes under style? Vocabulary. The words which we use to some formal personalities and informal personalities varies. Syntax, sentence structure, there will be difference. And the tone differentiates the formal and informal tone. The humble tone. We need to show our politeness, humbleness in the form of words to person belonging to some official rank, or if you're writing something to academicians. So these are all the things that differentiates the formal and the informal letter. The difference, the styles like vocabulary, usage of vocabulary, the choice of words, structure of sentences, and the tone, the humble tone. Okay, all these things differentiates the formal and the informal letter. So the cover letter, we already discussed about cover letter. Cover letter. When will we write cover letter, ma? Hello, are you there? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
When will we write cover letter? So, cover letter we used to produce along with our resume, right? While we go and seek of job, right? We have to produce cover letter along with our resume. In the resume, we'll have something briefly. Okay. Our qualifications, our date of birth, name, so many other things. In short, cover letter gives an opportunity to express our ideas about that particular job. What are all the things we attain? Special qualifications we have towards the job. Everything we can reveal in the cover letter. So, the cover letter is an essential part of any job application that helps to make a strong first impression and leads into your resume. So, in the cover letter, we can express our achievements, how far we are good in that profession, how much interested we are, why you need that job, what made you to seek the job. Any idea which you have in your mind could be expressed in the form of cover letters to your employees. It is for this purpose we are affixing cover letter along with our resume, along with the qualifications, professional qualifications. We might wish to express our emotions, emotional ideas towards the job to the to the person who is going to select you, the interviewer or the employer. So, cover letter gives us such an opportunity to bring out our extra skills, achievements, extra qualifications you have in the profession, this and all, you can produce in the form of words by using the words aptly in the cover letter. So, do proofread your cover letter multiple times. So, as I already told you, go through the letter. Before writing letter, have a definite plan, and then proofread your letter. It is after completing, have a clear idea about what you're going to write. After completing the letter, if you go through twice or thrice, you can refine the letter better. You might succeed in expressing exactly what you feel if you go for proofreading. So it is because of this, it has been given us, do proofread your cover letter multiple times. It is this cover letter which is going to decide your, that is, decide whether you will be appointed or not in the job which you're awaiting. No need for self-introduction, as it should already be established on your application. Resume you are producing, no, there itself, they could understand who you are, about your qualification, where you study, where from you are. These details will be there. Already you have produced in the form of resume. So no need to include all those things. Repetition makes the reader irritate. It will irritate the reader. So we have to avoid repetitions. Jump right into describing your skills in whatever areas you're skillful. So many specialities are there. In which skill, in where you are much skillful, where you are much interested, whether you have achieved in that in establishing that particular skill, everything you can explain through the cover letter. Write confidently on all the aspects that make you stand out from the competition. So, how you are special from others? Your writing should reveal your confidence. How much confident you are, how much interested you are, why you should be selected, leaving the rest, what special qualities, what special skills in you uh, should make them select you. So, your writing should be in such a way that should impress them, that should impress the reader. You have to make them feel that you will be the right candidate for the job. So write confidently on all the aspects that make you stand out, stand unique, stand different from others. And you have to express things with right vocabularies and with right and in the right tone. Don't forget to highlight what really matters. Don't hesitate or forget to express what are all your real abilities, the skills which you have. Think about what employers are interested in. Before writing a resume, before sitting to write a cover letter, that is before applying for the interview itself, we must collect some information about the company that we are going to apply for. So we have to construct our letter in such a way that it should satisfy them. So we must know the expectations of the employer. As per the expectations, we have to write, we have to make them know that you're there. You have to show your confident level that you can achieve what they are expecting. you can fulfill their expectations, such as qualifications and compassion for patients. So we must have enough qualifications. And next, very important thing for the nurses is that we need to compassion. We need to be a compassionate person. Of course, this is what the nurses are noted for. Nurses need to be humble enough. They must know to, they must be able to feel the pains of their patients. They need to give a kind motherly care. So these are all the actual things actually this might be the expectations from a nurse. So we must know well about the expectations of the employer, and we have to prepare our cover letter in such a way to make them feel some fulfillment. Refer to the skill requirements listed in the job posting and elaborate on how they match you. So, in the advertisement given for the interview, they might have referred that we want a nursing professional with such qualities. Okay, you have to make note of all those qualities and you have to explain in the cover letter how you suit, how you are going to fulfill the expectations, how you are going to suit with those skills which they expected, which they revealed in the advertisement. So refer to the skill requirements listed in the job posting and elaborate on how they match you, how the expectations matches with your own skills, and restate that you are a great fit for the job. By all means, you try to prove that you are the right person and they need not stagger or wait to select you as the right candidate. So you have to prove your efficiency by all means through the words that you are presenting in your cover letter. Be sure to thank the hiring manager for considering your application. So also it is your task to thank the hiring manager, the person who is there to select you. Okay, be sure to thank the hiring manager for considering your application, and add a statement that you would love to explore the position further through an interview. So you have to that is in the cover letter, you have to thank the hiring manager, the person who is going to read that resume and all, for having spent this valuable time and for having selected your resume to go through things. As he spent some time to know about you, you have to thank him. You have to thank the hiring manager. Also reveal to him that you have lot many other things. Lot of things are there to bring out if you got the opportunity to have an interview session with him. So always be positive in what you're trying to say. So Be sure to thank the hiring manager for considering your application, for spending this valuable time to read your application and have some consideration on it, and add a statement that you would love to explore the position to uh, say something in detail about the credits of yours towards the expectations in the interview. So these are all the things you need to care about while writing a cover letter. So cover letter is a letter that we have to affix with our resume. So in the resume, we'll give our personal details. In the cover letter, we can express how we are an apt fit for the job. Okay, that helps to make a strong first impression. It is through this cover letter you are letting yourself known to the person who is going to select you. So you have this. The letter is the first one that has to create the best impression on you. So we need to be cautious while writing a cover letter. So very important thing is don't sit and write a cover letter just like that. Have a better planning before start writing a cover letter. And after completing the letter, go through the letter at least twice to check out whether everything which you felt or revealed aptly in the letter. Check out the grammatical errors, the right usage of vocabulary, syntax, everything you need to check out with. And again, it is not necessary to go for self introduction as we already made with the resume. So it is an opportunity. The cover letter gives you an opportunity to describe your skills, to describe the skills which you have and the skills which the employer is expecting from you. The tone of your letter should show your level of confidence, and you have to express yourself how you're to show that you are the best, how you are better than any other candidates over there. Then have a clear idea about the company where you are going to apply for, know about the expectations, and write a cover letter in such a way that you are there to satisfy their expectations. And you are a perfect match for their expectations. And refer to the skill requirements which were already listed out by the employer in the advertisement, and make things clear that you are a great fit for the job as you could match yourself with every skill that they referred in the advertisement. This should be the content of the cover letter. So at the end, don't forget to thank the hiring manager who came forward to read the application of yours, that is your resume and cover letter, and your letter should be written in such a way that it should urge the hiring manager to call you for the interview. Just make a note that you have a lot more things to describe about the skills. If you are provided with another opportunity to communicate with the person. So there is a copy of cover letter here. You can just go through this. I'm writing to you today regarding the nursing job vacancy you posted on www.mail.com. I was thrilled to see that the role perfectly suits my education and skill set, and I'm confident that I can rise to the challenge. Just look into the sentence formation and the usage of vocabulary, how far it expresses the confidence level of the candidate. I have a BSc in nursing and 4 years of extensive work experience. During that time, I developed the skills to deliver perfect healthcare and service towards patients. I have been trained in monitoring patients, updating information on vital signs, and documents to effectively monitor their health. While working at Chicago Medical Center, I was tasked with assessing the condition of patients and also ordered and developed diagnostic tests. I firmly believe that I'll bring the energy and dedication necessary to thrive in your hospital's environment. As noted on my resume, my competencies and capabilities are strongly in line with the requirements stated in your job description. Additionally, I possess excellent communication skills which help me to effectively interact with patients' families, physicians, and other health team members in total. So here they are talking about their communication skills. Okay. I believe my background will allow me to be of great service to your hospital. I welcome the opportunity to meet and interview with you. Please accept the enclosed brush. Yours sincerely, your name. So hope the letter will give you some idea about how to write a cover letter. Is there any doubt with this? Are you all clear? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any doubt, ma?
No, ma'am.
Doubt? Okay. Let me go for a short recap. What is minutes? What is minutes, ma? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
What is minutes? We discussed, no? Have you all listened? Have you all listened? Why it is essential for the nurses to be good in writing skills. What are all the places nurses needs to show their effective writing form? எங்கெல்லாம் நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணணும் ரைட்டிங் ஸ்கில் வந்து நர்சஸ் யூஸ் பண்ற இடங்கள்ல எங்கெங்க வேர் யூ ஹேவ் டு ரைட் you're all nurses now so many nurses are there now any health professional I don't know whether you're all listening or not. Okay, ma. We just have a glance at all these things. Let me go for a short recap and proceed with the rest of the things in the next class. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you.